burst of chocolate when you first bite into it. Of course, the M&Ms are there. If you're a chocolate lover and an M&M lover, this is your new baby right here. Welcome back to the Anabolic Hub, where we make anabolic deliciousness. We're back inside my kitchen today doing another original recipe. Today we're going to be making high protein M&M chocolate cookies. If you love M&Ms, you love chocolate, and you love cookies, this is going to be the perfect trifecta of a recipe for you. It is most definitely ideal for any weight loss plan, any main gaining plan, and definitely any shredding plan. It is also included in my Craving Crusher cookbook, along with 75 plus other recipes, all designed for you to crush your protein goal and crush your cravings for the day. And the best part is, you get all future recipes that I come out with for free in an update. It is available in the first link in the description box down below, but with no further ado, let's get back to today's recipe by having a look at the ingredients. Here we go. All-purpose flour, chocolate-based casein protein powder, Swerve, granular cocoa powder, baking powder, salt, plain non-fat Greek yogurt. I can't believe it's not butter. The light one. Egg whites, vanilla extract, unsweetened almond milk, mini M&Ms. And this is another one of those magical recipes where we're mixing together some dry ingredients, we're mixing together some wet ingredients, and we're combining the two for some anabolic deliciousness. So let's get things started here by mixing together our dry ingredients first. First dry ingredient is going to be 150 grams of our all-purpose flour. Then 120 grams of our chocolate-based casein protein powder. Yes, casein protein powder. You can use a blend, maybe it might come out okay. Definitely don't use whey, it'll come out horrible. You want to use casein protein powder only, the chocolate version, 120 grams of it. That is all. Then 40 grams of Swerve granular, 30 grams of cocoa powder, 4 grams of baking powder, not baking soda, baking powder, 4 grams. And our last dry ingredient, 2 grams of the one ingredient to rule them all, salt. And after you have all the dry ingredients into the bowl, what you're gonna do is mix or sift them all together. Definitely don't sleep on the sifting. You want to make sure you get all that baking powder well dispersed among all of the other dry ingredients. We want a nice even bake, so don't just mix it with a spoon. A whisk is okay. The best case scenario is if you sift. Dry ingredients done. Now we move on to the wet ingredients. First wet ingredient is going to be 120 grams of the plain non-fat Greek yogurt, negative scale measuring system. And with that little bit there left on the spoon, we have 120 grams of the plain non-fat Greek yogurt. Exactly. Then we need 28 grams of the I can't believe it's not butter, the light one, or any light butter. 28 grams, we're gonna put it into our microwave safe container, soften it in the microwave for 10 seconds. I guess that means heating it up. The heating up will soften it. 10 seconds, and then we're gonna add it in to our wet ingredient bowl. Sound simple? It is simple. Let's do it. And through the magic of editing, I didn't make you watch the microwave part, but I have softened the butter here. Now I'm gonna add it in. So you know how people will ask you to like the video that you're currently watching and maybe subscribe to their channel during the video? Why do they do that? I'm not really sure why they do that. I do that because I want to make sure that you get all of these delicious recipes. So if that's something that you're into, hitting your protein goal with delicious recipes, I highly recommend that you smash the like button and consider subscribing if you're not subscribed. Also, why don't you tell me in the comment section, what's better, M&Ms or Reese's Pieces? Let's talk about M&Ms, Reese's Pieces, which one's better, which one's worse, and why. Comment section. All right, back to the video. Then we need 70 grams of our egg whites. 70 grams, on the money. Then 3 grams of the vanilla extract. Then we're gonna give those a quick mix. Next, we're gonna add our dry ingredients into our current wet ingredients in 3 separate batches. Batch number 1, batch number 2, and of course, batch number 3. And what you end up with is this beach sandy type texture. Obviously we can't make this into cookies, so we have to add in our last wet ingredient, which of course is our unsweetened almond milk. This will greatly depend on which type of casein protein powder that you're using. They all absorb a little bit differently. It's usually pretty close. I recommend starting with 120 grams here and then adding more 10 to 15 grams at a time until you get the texture that I'm about to show you. I'm going to add in, to start with anyway, 120 grams. And although mixing pretty well, I still need a little bit more of the almond milk, so I will add in 30 grams at a time just to show you how you should approach this if you're not using my casein protein powder, which you should be using my casein protein powder anyway. There is a link in the description box where you can get the exact one that I use, the NutriCost version. It is an affiliate link. I do make a little bit of money if you buy from there, not a lot. It's more there just for your convenience. Anyway, let's get back to the recipe here, adding in 30 more grams of our almond milk. Definitely starting to come together, but not quite there, so we're gonna add in 30 more grams. And this is what the texture should look like after you've mixed until you think you've mixed enough, and then mix some more. You should be able to form the dough into a cookie type form, if you will. Once the dough sticks together, when you do that, you know you have the correct consistency. One more step we have to do before we start forming out these cookies is going to be to add in our mini M&Ms. And here we have our 26 grams of mini M&Ms ready to be folded in. I also actually have about a third of that 26 grams set aside here that we're gonna put on top of the cookies after we form them, but we'll get there. Next, you wanna measure out 85 to 90 gram portions of your batter and form the cookie exactly how you want it to turn out after it's baking. And once you do that, you're gonna have 8 equally sized cookies going across your cookie sheet like this. We are now ready to start baking, which we're gonna do in our preheated oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 175 degrees Celsius for 8 to 12 minutes. After being in there for 8 minutes, it does smell delicious. Not quite done yet. We're gonna add on the rest of our mini M&Ms, get it back in the oven for a couple more minutes, and then you know where we're going next. So there's an abundance of chocolatiness, M&M-iness. Is that a word? No, it's not a word, but you get the idea. Chocolate M&Ms are in the air, and soon they're gonna be over at the taste test table. Do you wanna see what they look like fresh out of the oven? You wanna see what they look like fresh out of the oven, right? All right, let's have you take a look. That's what they look like. Pretty good, huh? They smell good. They look good. There's a little color runoff, but trust me when I say that does not affect the flavor whatsoever. These are completely delicious. We will let them completely cool and set for 10 more minutes, and then it's over to the taste test table. And we're back at the taste test table yet again to try another original recipe, M&M chocolate cookies, ready to go, smelling delicious, looking delicious. The chocolatiness in the air is unbelievable. The M&M-iness, is that word again, all over the cookies, looks delicious. This one, if you love M&Ms and you love chocolate and you were dreaming of it in a cookie, well, your dream has come true today because this is exactly that. But I digress. Let's get back to our taste test here. We're gonna get right to it. I'm gonna grab the one on the back right side here, pick this up. Now, this is a soft and you could say chewy cookie, if you will. If you wanted them to set a little bit more, be a little less chewy, you could cook them for about 3 to 5 minutes longer and they will set a little bit more. But I happen to like them a little chewy, maybe even a little undercooked, so to speak, so that they maximize the flavoriness of almost having like cookie dough along with your cookie. Plus, they set a lot better in the refrigerator if you're gonna meal prep these, in my experience. But I digress yet again. Let's get back to the taste test. First bite, best bite. Every time at this one, you can't convince me otherwise. Here we go. Yep, it's an M&M chocolate cookie. Burst of chocolate when you first bite into it. Of course, the M&Ms are there folded in along with the M&Ms you put on top, making for a flavor explosion on every bite here. That's why we put them over the top before they finish baking, just to make sure every single bite has some M&M-iness in it. I mean, there's not really much to say about this one other than if you're a chocolate lover and an M&M lover, this is your new baby right here. Another great meal prep snack to add into the tool belt. I'll flash up the macros here so you can see exactly what's in it. Lower calorie cookie. Obviously, the protein's much higher. You could have one of these or two of these, easily replace a protein bar, easily replace any snack during your day that you wanted to have something that is not only going to be high in protein, but crush a chocolate craving or a cookie craving or an M&M candy craving. All done right here. I've been meal prepping these, putting them in an airtight container in the refrigerator, and just like most of these anabolic recipes, they are better even on day 2 and on day 3 and day 4. You get the idea. They get better with time, like a fine wine, as I've said before. And we did so well with this last time, let's try to do it again. Always curious, who makes it to this point in the video? If you're here, and I'm glad you are, why don't we put orange in the comment section? We did so well with space on the last video. Let's try orange. Just put in the word orange. Doesn't have to be an emoji. Don't need any other words with it. Let's just mess with everybody and put the word orange, see how many we can get in there, and we'll have a lot of fun. And plus the algorithm will love it. So let's try that. Orange comment section. Let's go. Do it now. But it is getting to be about that time. I gotta get up out of here because the sun is glaring in my face right now and it's looking horrible on this video. So we're gonna cut it here. I'll remember to pull the shades next time, but I'll see you in the next one. Bye.